Hi guys, I'm back. It's been 3 years. I've gone grey. Unfortunately, everything from the past from this channel has all been erased. All the information that I had for the projects that I was working on, everything has gone. And in the time that I've been unable to produce videos, some of the channels that I done reactions to and series about, they have gone or they have changed beyond recognition. So this is new beginnings. It's a shame. Anyone who subscribed to see the Is Veganism a Cult series, or anyone who subscribed to see more of the debates that I'd done with True Empiricism back in the day, any of that information is all gone. The projects that hadn't even made it are gone. So I hope you'll stay subscribed for future content. And just now that I've got my setup here ready, I don't want to risk starting off with a big project again that just doesn't get finished. And I did suggest before that every time I do a video, I was going to do a recommendation. So I'd just like to do a series of recommendations. And this week, the first one, simple as that, Fight the Flat Earth. I would like to recommend. I've not watched his latest video, so let's take a look together. 2 weeks ago, no, this is the best of. He's done over 300 debates. Most of them are about flat Earth, but not all. He was a nuclear submarine. I believe he was the engineer, but he was on a nuclear submarine as his day job for a number of years. So he knows what he's talking about, and there's a lot to learn. So I'd fully recommend Fight the Flat Earth, especially if you've got a couple of hours to just stick him on in the background and listen to him debate some of these idiots. It's not about the flat earthers, right? It's about the knowledge that we can absorb from Craig FTFE. So here we go. Let's check this clip out. I've genuinely never seen this. I've no idea what we're about to dive into.
Where it should be, just as we predicted, right?
Well, yeah, but these are also empirical facts that we can demonstrate. You know,
Math
it's not. We're not just making it up. You know, these are scientific things that have been demonstrated to be fact over centuries. Like,
Wait a second.
Shane, you're close, right? You're asking the right questions.
I want to claim 10 grand. No, I'm just kidding. He wouldn't have put it up there unless he was almost positive no one's going to get it, right?
Stop being a flat earther and be an ex-flat earther, and then help us push truth that way.
I like to push truth either way, right? Absolutely. I'm only doing this because I think it's the truth. So the people calling me a liar, I don't know what the hell you think I'm doing. Wasting my time.
I don't think you're a liar, Shane. I think you're...
So the 10 grand that you mentioned is a 10 grand challenge, $10,000 challenge to any flat earther. It's to do with I know this. It's to show a model that would explain how a piece of nautical navigation equipment that I've totally forgotten the name of would work on a flat Earth. That nobody's been able to do, obviously, because it's impossible, because it's to do with celestial navigation, navigating by the stars. God, I wish I could remember what the damn thing's called. I wonder if it's written here by any chance. No, like most people, he's just got a set description that pops up on all of his videos.
This is the word that triggers people, but it's not meant to. You're ignorant.
Ignorant.
And that's
There's
not.
nothing wrong with
I'm not
being
calling you
ignorant.
stupid or anything. There's nothing
We're
wrong
all
with being
ignorant.
ignorant. I'm ignorant of makeup techniques. Doesn't make
Exactly.
me stupid. I could learn that. You are ignorant of physics and heliocentric model. It just means you got to learn that stuff, and then you'd understand it.
Right,
And
but
if you didn't have that ignorance mixed with the bit of cognitive bias that comes from being as a flat earther, you'd probably be able to see it from the other side.
I mean, I try
I'm
to
not
do that
calling
all
you
the time,
stupid,
but I
I'm
mean,
just saying that you don't know these things.
right. But from my perspective, you be ignorant, and from your perspective, I understand I appear ignorant. That doesn't bother me, right?
But I went to uni.
I don't think he understands the point there by saying that it doesn't bother him because it's saying you think I'm ignorant, whereas the point that Craig made was no, you are ignorant. It's a fact you are ignorant to these things, these scientific theories. I guess I don't know. Like you have to learn about it. Like it's not in my opinion you're ignorant. It's factually you are ignorant, right? And he's just like, oh, well, you think I'm ignorant? That don't bother me. I think you're ignorant.
University, I studied physics. I got a first with honours.
And that doesn't make sense because the right answer there would not to be, because he obviously doesn't believe the education system, right? He's got absolutely no respect for the education system. So telling him that you've been through university means nothing to this guy. He didn't even finish school. The right thing to do would be to say, well, yeah, you're right, I am ignorant to your model, and hopefully during this conversation you'll be able to explain it better, and I'll be able to explain to you why it's wrong. But I'm not ignorant to flat earthers. From Craig's perspective, he's done well over 300 debates with flat earthers, so he is by no means ignorant to flat earth science and flat earth perspectives and all the rest of that rubbish. So that would be the counter to that. Not to say, well, I'm not ignorant to the things because the thing he said was he turned it around. He said, yeah, but from your perspective, I'm ignorant. You know what I mean? From my perspective, you're ignorant. He meant to the flat Earth. You know what I'm saying? Anyway,
I know that what I know is right because I've empirically verified it as part of my studies. So I'm not the ignorant one in regard to physics because I've demonstrated that I understand physics.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, look at the look on his face. Says it all. Like Craig's just said, well, I went and got an education for a system that you don't respect, and I'm not going to explain how that's got any relevance to how I know more about physics than you. He completely skipped over the fact that he's done the experiments, he's done the maths, he's done the calculations. He skipped over all that as just part of his education because that's how Craig sees it. It's absolutely second nature. Yeah, I went to university to study. Obviously, I did experiments, and it's part of it. But this guy's never done none of that. He doesn't have a clue, You really do have to break it down. And let me turn this around and say if anyone's looking for a job out there, this is important on your CV as well. And in the section where you describe the jobs that you've had, you sit there and look at that and you think, yeah, it's obvious, I worked in a shop, obviously I was stacking shelves, obviously I was working on the counter. If you worked in a bar, obviously I cleaned tables, obviously I, did all this other junk. I don't know what you people do. But no, it's not obvious. You've got to spell it out. You've absolutely got to treat every person you meet like they are actually a bit of an idiot. Because in a lot of ways, we're all ignorant to things and we don't know what we're ignorant to. We show our ignorance all the time, as this gentleman is doing right now, for our entertainment.
And
right. I mean,
this is just a guess, but you don't have a degree in physics, do you?
I do not.
No. Do you have an A level in physics?
We also don't
I
understand the
took high
value
school
of that.
physics and then discrete computer science, math, and English and classics in college. So
I mean,
almost zero
How
physics.
did you do in your high school physics?
Okay.
Like B plus, something like
I mean,
that.
that's all right. That's a base.
But I couldn't remember the formulas right now, right?
I don't know if it's the same in any other countries, but in England, I'll tell you what, the science questions were very weird. It had nothing to do with reality. You were never given that bridge between what was going on in the science and what was going on in reality. There was no like middle ground there. So answering the questions just felt like answering the questions to a maths exam or an English exam. You weren't thinking about it in terms of reality. You were just thinking about it in terms of, these are the right answers. My teacher's told me to write this, so I write this. Do you know what I mean? And then the exam's over. I don't know if it's the same in other countries, but I really don't feel like I got very much science out of the education system. That for me was one place that it did fail me, I guess. But again, at the time, I wasn't given that bridge. I wasn't shown that connection between, like, I remember the two specific science lessons. One of them was obviously explosives, where we threw some kind of chemical into water and it made it go boom. And I thought to myself, wouldn't mind getting my hands on some of that. That looks quite fun. And the other one was when we got alcohol. We got given 100% alcohol, and I managed to sneak it out and I mixed it with orange juice. And I thought to myself, well, now it's no longer 100% alcohol, right? Now it's like at least 20% orange juice. So me and my mates necked it. Ethanol, is it? That's all I ever learned in science. I love science now. But he's talking about getting a high school science education, getting a B. Mate, I got a B. I can't tell you no science. Not from back then.
But understand like forces and vectors and measurements, sure.
And that's the thing, right? I took that high school education and I loved it. And I went and learned more and understood more. And
Man, I had a good teacher. I hated English. I moved schools quite a lot. I hated English all the way through my school career, right up until I came to the town where I ended up. I did my last couple of years here with a teacher who was absolutely fun as fuck. She was ace and really made English fun. And I took that, we were doing a lot of poetry and stuff, and tried to make a musical career out of it. I started writing songs and stuff. And before that, I never would have considered it a possibility. Like, she really opened the doors up on seeing more than just the words. Do you know what I mean? Understanding the poetry behind a line. And maths, I was just good at it. And I think just being good at it meant that the teachers were always impressed with me. And it meant that I was always in the top sets. And because I was always in the top sets, obviously, that meant I got the fun teachers who were relaxed because they had the good pupils that were easy, you know? So maths was always fun for me. But science, mate, teacher was an arsehole. I had so many different science teachers, obviously. I had different schools and different years. You've got different science teachers and stuff. I had 3 different sciences for a while, and then took double science for GCSEs. The teachers, man, especially one of them, absolute prick, mate, and really made me hate the subject, like genuinely. The only reason I took double science rather than single science, because you had to take a science. It was up to you which. And the only reason I took double was because no matter how much I hated the teacher, no matter how much he hated me, unlike English or even to a certain extent history and stuff like that, there was just one right answer, you know. In English, if they don't like you, they can just tell you that the answer's wrong, you know. They can just say that, because it's all really, especially when you're talking about like literature, language and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Getting words down. What did the author mean when he wrote this particular sentence? Well, I mean, he probably, if he wrote the words, it was a calm and windy day, he probably meant it was calm, but it was a bit windy as well, you know what I mean? I don't know what you want from me. What do you mean, what did he mean? No matter what I say, it's going to be wrong, or it's going to be right, depending on what mood you're in. But in maths, 2 plus 2 is 4, and in science, this really fun chemical plus water equals big boom. It's as simple as that, straightforward. Loved that about it. Hated science and never would have taken it in college because I hated the teacher, and I hated the way the subject was taught to me, you know? And I never learned anything because of that.
And more.
It's about school,
And then
it's
applied
about
it in
the
my
teacher.
careers. As a military engineer, as a wind farm developer, physics was important in these things.
Is that what you did?
Yeah, I was a nuclear engineer in the Royal Navy, and then I was a wind farm developer for a while.
A wind farm developer? No kidding.
Yeah, I was a project manager for a company called Enertrag.
No shit.
So physics was important in all of this, and I've the fact that the careers that I had verified what I learnt at university and studied, and
Sure.
so I know when I'm talking about physics, I know that I'm right, and I know that I'm not ignorant about physics, but you are, and that's why you're a flat earther. It's as simple as that. If you understood physics, then you wouldn't be a flat earther. This is something that I've said, right? Is that if you can bring me someone that's a flat earther that has a degree in physics, I'd delete my channel. But there isn't any. Because if you've got a degree in physics, you cannot be a flat earther.
I don't like the way he said you cannot be a flat earther, because they obviously believe in this whole big conspiracy. And that kind of could reaffirm, maybe not him necessarily. I was obviously wrong when I said he had no education. I'm willing to stand by when I'm wrong, I hold my hands up. I made a brash judgment about the guy. I was proven wrong. I'm happy with that. It happens every day. But yeah, there could be other people in the chat that would hear that and say, aha, that's a bit of a gotcha. But I fully recommend Craig, and this was just a way of me saying, hi, I'm back. I don't want it to seem like lazy content, I really don't, but I do just want to get the channel active again, get the ball moving, so that in the background I can be working on less lazy topics than just sticking a webcam on and watching somebody else's content. But genuinely, I do I'm going to do a few of these. You don't have to watch them, obviously. Please subscribe. I just, for a few weeks at least, I'm going to sit and just chill for 5 minutes. We'll go through somebody's content that I enjoy watching, and I'll introduce you to them, and hopefully you'll find something new that you enjoy as well. But that'll do it from me and from Craig. Take care. Hopefully we'll both see you over on Craig's channel. He is still a growing channel, so he's still very much engaged with his audience. If you leave a comment and he notices it, he will like it and leave that. Sometimes he'll reply if he's got anything on his mind that he wants to add. But yeah, he does still do that frequently, which you don't get from the bigger YouTubers, right? Well, take care, guys, and if I don't see you beforehand, I'll see you next week for another recommendation. And in the meantime, please, I am working on bigger projects again. I don't know what's going to happen with the vegan series. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get back in touch with people like Darth Dawkins again. I genuinely, everything's a little bit up in the air. But I have got some ideas for things that I still want to do. And obviously there's new things to react to coming up all the time. And it won't be so lazily edited in future. Although these recommendations will be, because this is just going to be my chill time where we sit together and chill, okay? Is that good for you? Alright, I'll see you on the other side. Thank you for sticking with me this long. Peace.